Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monique Leahy. I am a certified holistic nutritionist, a green beauty enthusiast, and a mother of two. Today I am sharing with you 10 foods that I eat every single week while breastfeeding. These 10 foods are particularly beneficial for babies' growth and development. Yes, there will be some benefits to mama as well, of course, but what I'm focusing on today are foods that are going to set your baby up for lifelong health and wellness. During the first year of baby's life, there is critical formation of the brain, the nervous system, as well as the immune system and the digestive tract. So we want to make sure, of course, that we're setting baby up for success. The foundations of neurodevelopment are established during the first 1,000 days of life, leading up to 2 years of age. So to all you nursing mamas, you can make such a difference right now in your baby's lifelong, long-term health by what you are currently consuming. When it comes to babies' optimal nutrition, the best foods are actually animal foods along with the right fats. As a nursing mama, did you know that your milk is almost 60% fat and cholesterol, which is essential to baby's brain development? So in order to ensure that baby is getting what he or she needs, you want to make sure that you are consuming fats and animal foods on a regular basis. When I was pregnant with my first son, he's now 4 years old, I did a deep dive into the research because even though I'm a nutritionist, it wasn't my specialty, it wasn't my expertise, and I discovered two incredible women behind Little Warrior Nutrition. I will link the website in the description below. Esther and Brianna are the ladies behind Little Warrior Nutrition. They are a wealth of knowledge and information, and they have really been a guiding light for me since I was pregnant with my first. Through Little Warrior Nutrition, I was introduced to this fabulous book, Super Nutrition for Babies. I highly recommend looking this up. I believe there's a revised edition of this now as well. This has just been a wealth of information and I've learned so much from them. And that book was based on the Nourishing Traditions book of baby and child care, another truly incredible, informative book. I highly recommend looking into it, doing your own research, and checking out these resources. And I will be sure to link them in the description box below. My first food on the list is bone broth. So we make homemade bone broth in our house on a regular basis. We use it in so many different ways. We use it in soups, in stews, we use it to cook meat, we use it to cook vegetables. Sometimes we'll just drink it on its own. It's so incredibly nourishing. Bone broth has an abundance of gelatin, and gelatin actually helps to aid in digestion. So actually, if you have any trouble digesting meat, then I highly recommend adding a bone broth sauce or gravy, or even cooking your meat in more bone broth, pouring it on top. It will definitely aid in digestion. I know bone broth has become a lot more trendy over recent years, and so often you can buy store-bought bone broth. I will say that I wouldn't recommend it. If you buy store-bought, you can't control the sodium levels, the amount of salt that has been added to it. You don't know what the quality of bones are exactly. I regularly go to our local butcher and I ensure that we always use high quality bones. That is so important in making bone broth. So they're always from grass-fed and organic sources. The other way to ensure optimal nutrition is coming from the bone broth that you create is to cook it long and low and slow. What we do is we put it on first thing in the morning and then we let it go all day long. And actually it makes the house smell so delicious. By bedtime, we're essentially turning it off and then putting it into large mason jars and putting it in the fridge. And then we'll freeze the remaining so that we can use it throughout the week. It's definitely a healthy kitchen staple and it adds so much flavor to all of your foods. It has all the right fats that baby needs. And so it's a great food for a nursing mama to be eating on a regular basis. And a hot tip for cooking bone broth is to add an acid to increase nutritional extraction. So you want to make sure that you're getting all the nutrients that you can out of those bones and connective tissue. I like to use apple cider vinegar. If you like what you're learning so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and get notified so you don't miss a single video that I put up. My next food is eggs. Eggs are such a fantastic, rich source of choline. Choline is an essential micronutrient that baby has highest needs for during lactation. Research shows that during this time, an adequate amount of nutrients are necessary in order for lifelong brain health and function. So it is a really, really crucial, critical time to be eating the right foods as a nursing mama. Eggs are an excellent nourishing protein, and also they're economical. So it's easy for you to get them pastured and organic and not pay like an exorbitant price for them. So they are one of the best options on this list for buying these foods on a budget. I recommend getting farm fresh eggs whenever possible. We always get ours from our local farmers market because we live in a big city, so we don't get out to farms that often. But I make a point of getting us farm fresh eggs as often as I possibly can. I find eggs are such an easy one to eat on a regular basis. I like to fry a couple eggs in butter on my cast iron. I like to use them in baking. I like to make a frittata or a cheese omelet. So the next food on my list is a plant-based food. It is flax seeds. Flax seeds are a great source of omega-3s, and of course, omega-3s are essential for baby's brain health. Also, flax seeds are high in lignans, and lignans are able to protect the baby from free radicals. Fatty acids are essential to breast milk production, as well as flax seeds have an estrogenic property that can also help to increase milk production. So you'll often see them in recipes for lactation cookies, and they're just a fantastic food to have on a regular basis. I recommend buying your flax seeds whole. It's always best to buy everything in its whole form if possible, but flax seeds are a really simple one to buy whole. They're also quite economical, and then I just grind them upon use. I'll keep a small jar of ground flaxseed that I've ground myself in our fridge, and the rest, the whole ones, I recommend keeping in your freezer. The fats in flaxseed are sensitive to light, heat, and air, and that's why I recommend storing them in your freezer. I like to grind up flax seeds and put them over my oatmeal or overnight oats. I also like to add them to chia puddings or smoothies. Yogurt is also a great one. So I highly recommend eating flax seeds on a regular basis. The next food on this list is a little bit more controversial. Most people wouldn't consider this a health food, and of course, the other thing to consider with nutrition is it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Some of you may not benefit from eating this food on a regular basis, so please keep that in mind and always consult with your natural healthcare practitioner to see if this makes sense for you. So the next food on my list is butter. I am a huge butter lover, always have been. Perhaps it's the Francais in me. I always ensure that our butter is from pastured, grass-fed animals, whether it's cow's butter or sheep or goat. Babies actually need a high-fat diet in order to support their growing brain and their developing body. The brain is actually composed of nearly 60% fat, and fats like butter are absolutely essential to brain development. Butter also helps with cholesterol metabolism, which is essential to the development of the brain, the nervous system, the digestive tract, and the immune system. Butter is also a rich source of vitamins A, D, K, and E. I like to cook veggies in butter, such as like some green beans in my cast iron. I also like to drizzle butter over steamed broccoli or steamed cauliflower. It's also great for cooking meat. And of course, I love to spread some butter on a piece of gluten-free bread. The next food on my list is grass-fed meat. And that's either beef or lamb we do have on a weekly basis. So beef and lamb are both a complete protein that are rich in iron and zinc. Iron is imperative for neurodevelopment, and zinc is needed for your baby's immune system, cognitive development, and growth. Now you may be thinking, why can't I get iron from spinach or kale or these other plant-based foods that are high in iron content? Well, the truth of the matter is that non-heme iron, which is plant-based iron, is not absorbable. It's not very absorbable. In fact, you have to eat large quantities to get a very small amount of iron. Whereas heme iron, which is animal foods, and specifically beef and lamb are great examples of this. They are so high in iron. In fact, heme iron is a highly absorbable form of iron. It is the best way for you to ensure that you are nourishing yourself and baby by eating animal foods. It's important to always eat meat with the fat because it will aid in digestion and it provides both mom and baby with incredibly valuable nutrients. Without question, we always get pastured, grass-fed, and/or certified organic beef and lamb. The way that we eat our beef and lamb on a weekly basis is we'll either add it to stews, or we'll do lovely slow braised stewed beef or lamb, cook a small steak on a cast iron pan in butter. We'll also serve it with a ton of veggies. So we'll do lots of great cruciferous vegetables. I also have a fabulous recipe on my blog for a kale salad. It's a roasted chickpea, beet, and kale salad. I will link that for you below. It is a crowd pleaser and it is so delicious. So I highly recommend checking that out. The next food on my list is oats. Oats are an incredibly versatile food. They also are rich in iron, of course the plant-based kind, the non-heme kind, so not quite as absorbable as what we talked about earlier around animal foods. Oats are also high in fiber, which is going to aid in digestion, as well as magnesium and zinc. Beta-glucan is a fiber that is found in oats that can potentially raise the levels of the hormone prolactin, which then will have a very positive effect on milk production. So the idea is that oats can potentially increase milk production. In our home, we love to eat oatmeal on a regular basis. We love our steel cut oats for that. A typical bowl of oatmeal in our house will begin with flaxseed and chia seeds throughout, and that'll be ground flaxseed. We'll add things like walnuts and almonds and mixed berries, just ensuring that we're getting a really well-rounded, delicious breakfast. I will still, if I have a bowl of oatmeal, I'll do a small bowl of oatmeal and I'll still have my 2 eggs on the side. I am hungrier as a nursing mama for sure than I was in my 9th month of pregnancy. So I have just found that with breastfeeding, you really do have to make sure that you're eating enough foods all the time. And I just want to also mention hydration is so key. I have a 1 liter mason jar beside me at all times. The next food on my list is coconut oil. Thanks to the lauric acid content in coconut oil, it is actually virus fighting, so it actually strengthens the immune system. The other thing with coconut oil is you can get a great surge of energy from it. So instead of turning to coffee or tea, try just like having some coconut oil in what you're eating that day and see if it makes a difference in your energy. Coconut oil also contributes to good gut health, and it is a fantastic way to get the right fats in when you're cooking for baby or when you're eating foods while nursing. So how I like to enjoy coconut oil is we cook with it. For example, we'll bake our sweet potato fries. It's my son's favorite, is baked sweet potato fries in coconut oil. We also bake with it. I add it to smoothies, to hot drinks and elixirs, and you can also use it as a butter replacement. The next food on my list is spinach. I also eat kale and arugula and mustard greens on a very regular basis. Every single day, we are eating lots of leafy greens in our house. And the reason for this is that dark leafy greens are a fantastic form of vitamin C, are a rich source of iron, which is of course the non-heme version, vitamin K, which is great in support of lactation, along with calcium and folate. One thing to keep in mind with leafy greens is that they contain oxalic acid, which is a calcium blocker. So in order to reduce the amount of oxalic acid, all you need to do is to cook them. So you can either saute them in a little butter, or you can steam them and drizzle some healthy fats over top, or perhaps you want to cook your dark leafy greens in coconut oil. But either way, I do recommend combining them with the right fats. The next food on my list is walnuts. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are excellent for baby's brain development. Walnuts are also rich in antioxidants, which baby will receive through mama's milk. I eat nuts on a regular basis, so you could easily swap these out for Brazil nuts and almonds and cashews. And the way I like to enjoy walnuts is I'll add them to my oatmeal, I'll add them to chia puddings, I'll add them to yogurt, to a smoothie bowl for some added crunch and texture. I also just like to eat them on their own or in combination with some dried fruit, like a couple of dried apricots or dried cranberries or mulberries. The next food on my list is sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is a fermented cabbage that is considered a probiotic food. Probiotic foods are going to provide your digestive system with healthy bacteria, beneficial bacteria to your gut. Fermented foods are excellent to incorporate into your daily life. I definitely eat fermented foods every single day. I love kimchi as well, fermented pickles, fermented vegetables like carrots, parsnips, asparagus, you name it, you can ferment it. It's fantastic to do your own fermenting if you can. I have not been able to as of late, so we've been buying ours, and I just always ensure that I look at the ingredient label and make sure that there's nothing more than water or salt on the ingredient label with whatever the food is, because you want to make sure it's properly fermented. For example, dill pickles at your local grocery store are not a fermented food because they've been pickled using vinegar, so you don't want to see vinegar on your ingredient label. Often you can get awesome ferments at the farmer's market as well. So there you have it. Those are the 10 foods I eat every week while breastfeeding. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something from this video and took something away that perhaps will inspire you to delve a little deeper into the research and check out the resources that I have listed for you in my description box below. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and get notified, because I have lots more great content coming your way. If you have any questions for me as a nutritionist mama, or any other videos that you are really wanting to see, make sure you let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna go breastfeed my baby, so I will see you next time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.